Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Laurel Park. We got a big day of racing coming up. Again, Naomi Tucker joined by Keith Fusel. Keith, it is a beautiful day already, and we got perfect conditions.
It's a balmy day, no doubt about it. Sun is shining. It is warm. It's warm, and yeah, we've got a good weekend in store again. And, you know, we had a really good handle last week on Saturday. That was great. Thanks again to everybody who took part in wagering on our race car. It was good, and we're having, you know, competitive field after competitive field. I mean, the value was there. Everybody I talked to, you know, around town that follows the races along with me, they're loving what they're seeing right now at Laurel Park. It's not easy, as I said. It's, you know, you've got to do a little bit of work, do some extra work, but man, there's a lot of reward. I mean, there was a horse the other day, $91 on.
Wow.
That was havable, and we had this on our ticket, and that's the one thing we talk about, Naomi. You see those four horses that I've got on the bottom of the screen. If anything's sitting there 8, 10, 12 to 1 or higher, always bet a couple bucks to win on that horse.
It's been value galore, and as you can see, we got a firm turf course for you, as well as that fast main track. Rail has been set out at 17 feet at Jubilee for the first turf race, and then 70 feet later on, so we'll keep you abreast in terms of where the rail was placed to get you that perfect turf to run on. But we got 9 races coming your way, so let's get going here. Race number 1 starts at early pick of 5, 7 furlongs of distance, claiming $10,000 to $8,000. No winners of 2 lifetime. And Keith, you landed on the number 3. Some is 9. Marius Ray Jr. trains. She broke her maiden 3 starts ago in gate to wire fashion. Is projected to be the fastest early again here. She's certainly going to try and apply the same trick.
That's what I'm hoping. I mean, I look at the race. I don't really see anybody with, you know, super speed edge. This is the one that has the edge, if there's any. Summers 9 was against the grain of the racetrack last time and kept trying. Actually came back and closed a few lengths through the final 1/8 of a mile. Can she get 7/8? We're going to find out. I think she carries the speed a long way in here.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit just taken back by that 5.5 to then 7. She really does have to make sure that she has enough left there for any others to come and close into her. I use Martha Rita on top, the number 5 for Kieran McGee. Turns back from the mile to the sprinting distances. She seems much more effective over those shorter distances. Yomar will have to be patient, though, and kind of let her gear up for a big challenge, because that's her running style.
Yeah, I think she's going to be a little bit of a shorter price, but she was aided by a pretty good duel 2 races back sprinting. I agree with you. I think she wants to sprint. The mile just wasn't her cup of tea. Aggressive move with a right back. They're not wasting any time dropping Martha Rita down. Looks like she rallies off. Special Freedom, we've talked about her time and time again. We've chased her around the racetrack a lot.
We have.
She draws outside today. Maybe last in, first out for her, that kind of angle. She can stay clear of any trouble through the opening, you know, 16th, 1/8 of a mile. She does. She can get the trip. She was against it a couple races back too when pinned in. So I think she gets that stalking trip this afternoon.
I agree. I like that outside speed angle for her. 3-back effort after actually a bad start was her best recent move at this level. So I think it's good for her to try and replicate that. Let's hope that she can. Race number 2 is the start of the early pick of 4. And as we've come accustomed to, Keith will have a ticket ready for us.
Knocking on the door, 3 or 4, I think, the other day. Here's an $18 ticket for you. Get your week started. 469 PERE going to be a short price in the second. Price user, market mover, and the 9 Seville Row probably in that 4 to 1 range. Race 3, 1 and 2. We've got a stat for Claudia with those firsters. Looking spunky, improved. Really good try after that troubled debut. Got to use that one in there. Race 4 with the 5 and 10. Boats are rocking. Captain Thunder, it's a play that we're going to use. I've got it a little bit of a value shot. I know you use that one as well. First time Trombetta. Race 5, we wrap it up 3 deep, 4, 5, and 7. There you go, $18 early pick 4 ticket.
Race 2 is the first start on the turf of this week's proceeding. Of course, we are going to be looking ahead to that Summer Turf Festival on Sunday as well, but more about that during lightning round. Race number 2, claiming 16 to 12,500 conditioned race, 1 mile and 16 on the grass. The distance, rail set at 17 feet. And Keith, we actually landed on the same horse here, Prairie. I always think it's a good sign when we are in agreement. It doesn't happen that often as of late. Anthony Ferrier trains. He gets back to the turf and a roomier track. Has been campaigned at Chaucer for a trainer who does well over there. But looking forward to seeing him back on the grass here, because he will relish that.
Gelded late January at the fairgrounds. Faced a pretty good field the next start. You know, comes out of a key race there, carrying speed a long way. Sixth place finisher out of that race on the 19th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, came back, nearly pulled an upset. It was 62-1, a good second in a race at Churchill and a grade 3. So company is there. Again, little pace in the race. This horse held okay form on the dirt at Charlestown. It's going to be his race to lose. I believe he gets to the front. He'll take him a long way.
That was my idea as well, him moving to the front. Perhaps on this outside high print might be pressing him as well. So you have him as your fourth pick. But I did want to give some credit to number 8 as well, Point of Grace, for trainer Susan Cooney, who basically got bumped sideways at the 8th pole last time. I was trying to close into taking some of that momentum away, which is tough to regain when kind of tiring like they all were doing. So I actually thought that Point of Grace with a cleaner trip is that kind of a late grinding style type that as long as he stays in the clear, so Charlie Marquez does have a job to do here, make sure that Point of Grace momentum doesn't get stolen. Yeah,
Point of Grace, Seville Rose, similar running styles. They've got to sustain a little bit better at the mile and a 16th distance. But you're right, Susan Cooney, horses have been live at prices. Charlie Marquez, he's back. He's riding very well now, a little bit of a lull. All with the talent's always been there, so good to see Charlie getting back to the winning ways. Seville Road dropped some weight with William Humphrey, another live bug rider that we have here. He's really got to time the run. This horse loomed boldly and just flattened last time. He has a tendency, but I think he's a player in here. Underneath, I got a price shot at Market Mover. 4-1, similar group last time. Now you're going to get big price. The race looked awful on the page. Races on the go back work for me. Maybe just really needed that race. I like how Carrasco kind of hangs around to ride this one. Keys up. Look, Cannon's Roar, 2 lengths behind Cannon's Roar. Going to be one of the favorites in the stake.
In the fine stakes on Sunday. Yeah, you're right. Cannon's Roar, a very decent turf runner. So if Market Mover gets back to that back class that he's shown, can be very intriguing. I like that. That's a great pickup there.
One of our best riders here at a big price. I'll take the shot. Yep.
Especially on the turf fixture. It's just really shown us he can hold his own. Turf and dirt, actually. Multiple winners throughout Preakness week against all those out-of-town jockeys. He does very, very well. Of course, I remember he was on Amore as well for Todd Pletcher, so picking up those out-of-town trainers coming in with these runners as well. Race number 3 is a maiden claiming event, $25,000 to $28,000. 7 furlongs the distance here. We have a video spotlight on the number 1. Looking spunky for trainer Annette Eubanks. Angel Cruz takes the mount again. She was on the inside behind this pace, and I thought that she actually started responding very well to Angel Cruz because she really had to work for it. It looked like she was already tiring, and she had to get switched outwards belatedly, but she kept on going.
She did, and this is a fast race. When you've got a maiden 16 and the winning buyer is 71, that just doesn't happen a whole lot here at that level. Big race. Look at this run here. Very willing to the 8th pole. Nobody was going to beat Swain to and fro, came back to win. I think Lookin Spunky is willing again today. A stalking trip is in order. Blinkers go on. Going to be close. Esperanto, though, going to be the top selection. Claudio Gonzalez, Jerome Barbosa, high jockey trainer percentage there. Little stat here for Claudio, too. This is a smaller sample size over the last 3 years, but I even dug back a little deeper. Do we have that, guys? Stat? Maybe?
You can give it to us.
We'll give it to you. There it is. Thank you. 4 for 5 is Claudio. Last 3 years on the dirt with 3-year-olds making their first start.
Wow.
ROI of 612. And if you carry it back 5 years, 6 for 13. 8 for 13 in the money. So pretty strong there. Esperanto by Moser, only 8% with the first, but the mare was a multiple stakes winner and half to an 8-time winner.
Yeah, mare was a very decent runner. That's why I ended up using Esperanto in my exact. Well, 80% winners. We know how the Gonzalez bond is really starting to fire again here at Laurel Park, so that's going to help as well. Same for Jaron Barbosa. He's doing incredibly well too, both at present leading the standings, which will we get to later on. And how about some of the other horses that you're using on it? Both of us use Doom Scroller. I have her in 3rd. Blinkers come off first after being claimed by Marilyn McMullen. She didn't do anything last out at the maiden 16 level. Tried to make up a little bit of ground, had to go quite wide, picked up a couple of horses, but nothing like we thought she would do for a high-profile barn in Brittany Russell, dropping down to the maiden 16, having been campaigned at higher levels. I guess we're kind of seeing where she might belong, which is these type of levels. I do hope she comes back with a better effort.
And this trainer's sneaky good. Just keep betting the horses. You're going to make money year in and year out. Blinkers come off, right? If I'm not mistaken, on Doom Scroller.
I have blinkers off,
Yeah, and ran okay. Back figure 47. Might need to run a little bit better than that, but you're right. Has to make up some ground, too. Was well beaten by Lookin Spunky last time off of that duel in that race at Pimlico on May the 26th. You don't use Polish Cookie. I'm going to throw her into the mix. 0 for 19, but 5 seconds and 4/3. Willing, she tries. There's no doubt. They keep protecting because of the breeding. Obviously, we know about Krishiki and the whole line there, but has to follow through a little bit better for me.
She makes that kind of exacta trifecta value in here because I just don't see her really wanting to win. But look, today might be her day on her 20th career start. Race number 4 is claiming $12,500 is $10,000 and mile 16 at a distance. Rail set at 70 feet here. We do have a video spotlight on your prize play of the day, I do believe. The number 10 Captain Thunder. We're looking back quite a while back. This is Pimlico, May of 2021. He was on the pace, on the lead the entire time. Had every excuse to then back up after doing so. But he fought gamely. To me, the way he runs, he looks like that kind of cruising style, high cruising style horse that doesn't really accelerate, but he can keep it up for a while.
And I think he's going to need to. He's going to need to stay close to boats of rock. And so he was fresh this day. Fresh again. Barn change. Trombetta, very good first time in the barn. A positive ROI. I liked how he showed that speed, the tenacity. Got beat by Audacious Quality, came back. I'm going to use that horse as a value play in the stakes on Sunday. A big number, 86 recently. So keying up against the right kind of horses. This pen shipper, though, boats are rocking. He's a turf specialist. He's beaten the right kind. Even before the layoff, I checked out the horse that ran behind him. He was being competitive at Gulfstream all over on the turf. So it fits well, goes to the front. Might get a little pressure. That's why I'm hoping Captain Thunder can get a tactical position. I don't want to see him way back. I want to see him, 3-4 out of it, leaving the 5/8, and then slowly making his way up to hopefully strike by the top of the stretch. Value play there.
You already made the case for my top selection, Boats Are Rockin'. JD Costa, aggressive rider. He's going to go to the front, and let's hope that he can separate himself and give himself a little bit of a cushion before some of these closers start to run at him. I do use the number 2, Atreyu, underneath as well. Has been freshened since his form declined in the last 2 starts at Tampa Bay down, but his better turf figures would work in here for Crystal Pickett. So he's kind of that back class horse that you were picking up on. I think, which race was it that you were mentioning? No, the early race.
The Schumann horse, yes.
Yeah, the Schumann horse. Similar kind of profile in a way with that back class and perhaps returning to it.
He's interesting because you don't know. Sometimes he shows speed, sometimes he doesn't. He's been a versatile type. Look at his record, 7 for 17 on the grass. A little break, stated, fairly fit at Tampa. This horse should be okay. Speed game's kind of a stalker from the rail. I'll throw Beltway Bob and a couple bombs in there to close posterity if things really heat up on the front end. This is wide. It's Boats Are Rockin' kind of looks obvious to be, if he's close to ready, it's going to take him a long way. After that, wide open. And that's kind of the theme of this weekend
that's what we've
in these
been
races.
Seeing, right? Exactly.
Yeah, it's been very, very difficult.
Yeah, value aplenty for sure. We'll take a quick break, but stay with us.
I like making them all look pretty, like little models. A lot of these horses need to be clipped for exercise, so obviously it goes hand in hand with training, but I like to make them look good and feel good as they can get. They definitely cheer me up. Going in and having a little special date with each one. They all have their good personalities and they're happy to get their haircuts.
Back to Laurel Park. We're on race number 5. The 1-turn mile here, claiming $5,000. Now is a 2 lifetime. Also the start of that late pick 5. And look at that carryover, $9,275. That will be in the pot once everyone else starts wagering into it. So we'll definitely be in the double digits here.
Once again, you got to thank the last 2 races on Sunday. The $91 winner, I'll give you. The last race winner was like $30. We had the horse in the exact and tries in our picks. Another one sitting there, laying in a big price. Don't leave those horses out. Go to the window, bet a couple bucks. It's kind of the saver. You're going to be happy. I'm telling you, because we see it time and time again. Horses that we have, maybe underneath that 3rd or 4th spot, you forget about. Don't. Use those. Spread it out a little bit.
I do like a good $90 winner as long as I have them on my ticket.
Yeah, you had the Chucky Lawrence horse in the mix in the last race. What was the name of that one? I had it here somewhere. That's all right. We'll get it. It was the one horse, right?
I
wire to wire.
It was. Yeah. Yes. No, that was pretty incredible. Yeah, courtesy of that runner. I hope everyone will be wagering in this late pick 5 because I think it's going to pay out again quite big because of some of those deep fields. But let's talk about race number 5 here. We'll start with your top selection, the number 7 Bacaneco for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. Won over course and distance when breaking his maiden second after the break today. And plus, I think the key here is getting back to Laurel Park. That makes a difference for the barn. That makes a difference for Jaron Barbosa. And most likely will make a difference for Bacaneco as well, who's won here before.
Bacaneco, I think, looks to me like the speed of the speed. You got to the outside, Rebel Victory could maybe force it. But if he clears, he could be gone. Claudio's 27% with this kind of move when he plunges to the nickel. Very, very, very tricky. He seems like an all-or-nothing kind of a horse to me. If he comes back anywhere close to form, he should beat this field. And that horse's name, kind of a hunch play for you, the other Lady Cage fighter in the last race. You do all the what is it, the Krav Maga, all the boxing and everything. She's playing a little injured, everybody. She's got a bum knee. So hopefully it doesn't affect her handicap too much.
I've been limping around the track here.
Okay.
Yeah, so that should be my hunch play actually. Yeah. I used the number 5 in here on top, Dashing Circles for Ollie Figgins. I love his gameness over 2 turns at Pimlico last time after a turf try and a few sprint starts. He seems very apt at going longer again. So I love him here over that extended mount. Now that was on a surface with some moisture in it, but he's had some fine enough efforts on the track that was fast. I'm thinking this has got some bottom underneath him. He comes in here with that fitness, and I just love the gameness he showed. That was first time in a while that we've seen that from him. Yeah,
this Marshall Mendez, he's riding okay. He gets some good trips, and Dashing Circle shows the ability, I think, to stalk the pace. Barn is doing well. They're on a good little roll right now. I'll use that one underneath. Aftermath, I don't know. Big gaudy number, 2 races back. Was it a slop aberration? I don't know. If it wasn't, man, he'll go right back to the winner's circle. And Under Fire, I like the improved stamina for this Mary Epler trainee right now. Draws inside. We'll have to break clean and then move up to stalk.
Yeah, I use her underneath as well. Race number 6 is the start of the late pick 4. I decided to create a ticket for that. This is how I play it. We start with a 5.5 furlong event. 4 and 9 I key around here in race number 6. The 4 winged my top selection, but I do think the number 9 Walks Like a Lady might just be very, very intriguing too, getting down to the maiden 25 level for the first time in her career. Race 7, maiden special weight, 3 deep there. Grand Manor on the rail, but I key around Covert Cat as well as Frightland. Those are kind of my top selections in there. Race 8, 2 deep. I'm either right or it's going to be an absolute bomb in there. 5.5 furlongs the distance. I threw him When I Get to Heaven for trainer Michael Trombetta, where he got his maiden victory first time on the grass, but all eyes for me are going to be on the number 9, Just Wave and Smile for trainer Dale Capuano, setting his foot back on the turf here after a good prep race, coming back from a small break. And then in the nightcap, 3, 5, and 6 for me. $18 a ticket. That starts in race number 6. Of course, if you want to play the late pick 5, you can also add a couple of horses in race 5 and use a similar structure here. Like I said, 5.5 furlongs of distance on the turf rail, set at 17 feet. And look, we're going to start with your top selection here, maiden 25. I didn't get to the number 10, Freedom Cheer for trainer Tim Shaw. Look, has been well beaten on debut and then in last outing as well. That was at the maiden 40, kind of trying to find an easier spot here. And also seeing if Freedom Cheer is going to enjoy the turf.
Yeah, I'm just taking a stab in race 6. It's a race that I'm not going to attack. It's, we have this day in and day out, a lot of challenges with these races. So I'm going to give you 2 horses just on breeding that I think will handle the turf, certainly could improve on the turf, and that is the 10 and 11. So if you want to sit back, maybe not go crazy in a race, but have something live. Freedom Cheer by Freedom Child. So the full sibling, broke its maiden at Pimlico. Quick, good number. Other horses in the family have handled the turf. I've seen this barn come in here and horses have woken up on the grass. Then we go to the 11, Speak Your Mind. Susan Cooney had an upset winner the other day on the turf. This girl, she's a half to Maid Bale, who was 2 for 14, 6 for 14 in the money on the turf, topped at an 89. Mr. Speaker, all turf to me. Why not? Ran against some okay key horses and Mama's G's Wish. Both of these horses bred to handle the turf, take a shot at some bombs in race 6. Nobody I can really trust.
Yeah, I used Winged on top here. She bested Fashionista, who's reopposing here on her turf debut. And she did a lot of work leading the pack up front. Kind of struggled belatedly, but I thought she really dug in deep when the other runner came at her. Now going to be her second time on the turf here. JD Acosta retains the mount. Look, if she continues to improve, we know that sometimes when they get on the turf the first time, they kind of have to figure things out. Well, she got that opportunity. She didn't disgrace herself at all. I think she can go one better here.
Yeah, there's the Carolina Sun. That's the Cooney horse that upset the apple cart there. Wink had every chance to win it. I don't know. I mean, family's there. We talked about Jazzy Idea. We know how good she was. Fashionista, I think, should rally from the back, but walks like a lady. Sarah Nagel, fresh, horse positive ROI with this move. I think this horse wants to sprint. And turf works. Was, battled through some pretty good fractions at Gulfstream Park. I like that debut run, freshened up. Should make a run from the back of the pack. I think you're going to see Toledo take back, maybe try to circle Turner for home and make a steady progression to it.
Yeah, I have her as my exacta play, and I key around those two in race number 6. Race number 7, maiden special 8, 6 furlongs the distance here. Do a video spotlight on our joint top selection. We're looking at Frightland, and we're going to look back at his start because he got squeezed out pretty badly, and then even a couple strides in, it even looked like he clipped heels ever so slightly. Like took a fair bit of a stumble right there, and that just took all his momentum away. But look at that. Fergal Lynch patiently got him back up there and then tries to produce him. Has the move out again. I mean, nothing really went right for this runner that last race.
No, it was kind of a horror trip for Frightland and a horror trip for the Pick 6 players that wanted to carry over, right? Couldn't get it. This was the big day, the big price. Frightland. Debut was pretty good. Ran into a stablemate Jemison.
Here as well.
Yeah, and had no room late. It was just trouble throughout. Clear run from the outside today. Expect a little bit more speed. Should be able to prompt the pace. Might get it done, albeit at a very short price. But Cobra Cat, very encouraging debut up at Monmouth against a horse that ran a good number down at Gulfstream. Came out of a pretty good race at Gulfstream prior. Run a 73. Gets the experience, another one. Pretty quick internals. You see that at Monmouth. They've got that longer run up, but this horse should be able to prompt and move into it as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a very encouraging debut for a stable that tends to do better with their second-time starters as well. So I expect more from Covert Cat, kind of trying to loop the field here and keep on going. We both use Grand Manor on the rail as well. He ran well enough on debut, was tried on the turf next time out where he showed a completely different and encouraging running style. Now, I don't believe he's fast enough to make it to the leader. Of course, we've got a couple of first-time starters. You never know how aggressively they're going to get ridden from the gate, but I like that Grand Matter showed that different dimension as a runner.
Yeah, word was out in debut, Naomi, on this horse. You talked about 5-2. Tim Keefe horses don't get bet like that first time out. Was entered and in. It scratched out of a 25,000. Was in for the tag as well last week, I believe, or maybe a little bit further back. Interesting protect move here. They did not want to lose this guy. Going to try turning back in distance and surface.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. Race number 8 is a Maryland Breland sired allowance. Very deep race there. 5.5 furlongs is sprinting distance. Let's look back at the video spotlight before we key around our joint top selection here. Prince PERE, when we were at Pimlico, he ran a tremendous race, except for the fact that he ended up getting badly steadied on the rail. He really couldn't come with a run at all, even though he was loaded and he was ready to fire. Yeah, he was ready to fire. Second off of a break, got position. He was down inside. We had liked him a lot that day. I think it was one of my value plays on that weekend. Just couldn't really get that clean trip. Kept on trying. Now third off of a break. He's run well in this kind of condition before. Should be able to sit that inside stalking trip. Hopefully he gets a clear run the final 3/16 of a mile. I hope so as well, because that was very tough to watch for a horse that we were ready to see do well again. He's a tough campaigner, and I see no reason why he wouldn't run well today as long as he get that clean trip that we've highlighted. Now, Keith and I actually landed on the same best bet of the day, the number 9, Just Wave and Smile for trainer Dale Capuano. He's already gotten that open company allowance win out of the way, over 5.5 furlongs right here. Got a break, got a winter spell, returning an off the turf event. They kept him in, got a good run around, got some fitness. Now returns here. Now I think that this race sets up perfectly for him. A nice higher draw. He's got tactical ability. Let's hope he can get the job done for us. Two works under his belt since then, and you're right. He wins the Open
condition pretty convincingly. Had a great trip, a little covered up, was able to switch out and kick clear. There is some speed in here. Al loves Josie, very, very fast. We're going to see how he takes to the turf course today. Second dam, very strong on the grass. So don't be surprised if he doesn't carry that speed a long way. Jerry Rao's been trying some of these runners on the turf. But just wave and smile. I think we'll be able to kind of sit the covered up trip and bring a finish. Only thing that bothered me, the drifting last time out. He handled it off track, no problem in the past. Didn't seem real comfortable. But the two works back to back. I like that. That shows me reunited with Ruiz. He's ready to kind of sit and make that move from off of it.
Exactly. My exact is when I get to heaven, I see you have him in third. First time on the grass, he got his maiden victory. Best of two next out winners in there, including Brion for trainer Michael Stidham. Came back with a nice 68 buyer next time out. Now he's going to try and use his early speed again here. I do believe that he's probably going to have to take that sort of stalking position to Al loves Josie, because we know that the Jerry Robb runner is going to go forward and use that speed weapon. But I still believe that when I get to heaven, can also stalk a little bit, because that's what he did last time. I kind of had to take that just a backseat position for a couple of furlongs and then move in.
I like the determination. I liked this horse last time. The family is there. There's turf. Trombi can get these horses after the maiden score to continue on and run well. Real like a dogged effort, just kept grinding and grinding to get up. I think he's okay. I know this is a little tougher, a little deeper field. Got to get position. Don't get lost in the shuffle into the turn, but encouraging debut.
Yeah, this is a good field. This is a great race, race number 8, sprinting on the turf. Then the nightcap is our final race on today's card, claiming $10,000 to $8,000, 6 furlong the distance here. And Keith, you landed on a horse that I ended up not using. I had him on him off Hair of the Dog for trainer Annette Eubanks. They tried to turf with him last time. He's ran good on the turf before, but last time didn't really work out in terms of traffic, did it?
No, didn't. He's finally back in the right spot, though. But is he gone off form too much? I don't know, but this is the kind of horse that can upset the apple cart, boost that pick 5 for you, and you go back on his numbers. He works. He's got some speed to stalk. He can move into it. Annette Eubanks, love this trainer at a price. They were trying to get Barbosa. I like that. That's a positive to me. They land with Albello. That's a good. It's kind of a little sideways move. Just looking for the price. He's the one to key if you're going to look for any kind of value in the nightcap. The Shackled is obviously the Cairo Kid, obvious, both with speed, both with staying power at this distance.
Yeah, I throw in Silent Service as well. He's my exact horse, Marisol Jr. They quite the plunging class after that start at an allowance company, but he rolled at this level 3 starts ago when taking them all the way. Now, I don't see him being fast enough to do so. There's a couple of other speedsters in here, but he's certainly going to enjoy being back at this level. Also, that last one was over the mile and 16. We're going 6 furlong here, so he's going to have to come from off of it. But I wanted to throw him in just because of that class relief. We know how that can really perk up a horse's ears, so to speak. As we might as well get going with lightning round.
Let's go.
We've been mentioning it already. Barbosa, J-Ron Barbosa, I do believe there was a slight typo in there. J-Ron Barbosa is in the lead here, as well as Claudio Gonzalez. Look, they're both just super happy to be back in here again. Might want to drop that lower third real quick, guys. Barbosa has been doing phenomenally, but look at how well Fergal Lynch is doing too. Yeah,
Fergal Lynch, very apt on the turf. I mean, I think that's where he's going to make his hay, it seems like, but capable on both surfaces. There's the name. Charlie Marquez is the one I'm glad to see kind of pop back in there. Been hard working, been around, a little bit of a lull, coming back to winning ways. It's going to be a battle to the wire here for jockey stands, but you got to give a little edge, I think, to Barbosa, just where he's sitting right now in with that Gonzalez barn and the way they are obviously heating up.
I love to see Charlie back as well. I think he indeed had just a bit of a lull and now really returning into form. But let's talk about the trainer standings as well, because aside from Jaron Barbosa enjoying being back, that kind of goes hand in hand with Claudio Gonzalez. Jaron and Barbosa have been teaming up quite frequently, and Claudio back atop the standings with 5 wins. But look, we have a deep trainer colony here. Jose Corrales with 3 wins, heating back up again as well.
Had that big winner the other day, right? 13-1 shot. Captain Cardo got it done. Dale Cap, Trombetta, Ness, the normal guys, they're there, and they're going to be there year in, year out, meet in and meet out.
Yeah, the usual group here battling it out for those trainers' honors. Really looking forward to it. It is competitive, and we see that back in all the fields lined up for this weekend. Now, we're also looking ahead to the Summer Turf Festival, which is this Sunday. The cards have been drawn for the Stormy Blue Stakes, the All Brandy, the Fine Stakes. You're already mentioning the Fine Stakes. I was just looking at that race earlier today. Cannon's Roar most likely going to be very, very tough to beat in there. Very talented runner for trainer Dale Capuano. Only just missed out last time in the Maryland Million Turf by what, half a length in that blanket finish?
Yeah, and there you go, some kind of magician. These guys have faced
John
off.
G, Street Copper, they're all coming back.
They're all there. Talked about a little bit of a price play, audacious quality. Go to the racing biz. I think Frank might have had a good little story. Amy Cortez, you know, with that runner, how she acquired the horse. Big effort last time, just blew past the field. Maybe look at that one as a price. Stormy Blues, I believe, you know, Darinade's going to be the favorite for Christophe Clement. We'll see if Rosario actually shows up. It was on the overnight, but that's a deep field as well. And the All Brandy. These races, they were very difficult to line. Like I say, I'm confident in Clement's horse in the Stormy Blues, but there's a couple different ways to go here for favoritism in the Fine and in the All Brandy.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. And that stellar card is in conjunction with the Father's Day buffet that we have. I do believe we also have a whiskey tasting opportunities, whiskey flights, bourbon tasting. I think this is just the perfect day, isn't it? You come here, you have good food, tremendous quality of whiskey and bourbon clearly on offer, and great racing, competitive fields already lined up. So some wonderful wagering opportunities to really get your Father's Day going in the right direction.
So what am I doing working on Father's Day? I should be just sitting out amongst the crowd enjoying all of this. Yeah. Yeah, so that's great. Yeah, you got the stakes action, all the specials there. Enjoy the buffet, the whiskey. Have at it. Weather should be good, right, too? It should be a beautiful day. Yeah,
I have to double check the weather forecast. Yeah. I do believe we're in for a balmy weekend here. Sun is shining. Right. Now, Keith, we already kind of highlighting best bet. We join forces here. Both of us are with the number 9, Just Wave and Smile for trainer Dale Capuano.
Yeah, I think getting back to the turf, he's going to like it. He's going to relish it. He beat a little bit better field, a deeper field, and that open other than. Likes this turf course, proven. He's the type of horse that gets position around the turn, and if he gets any kind of covered up trip, once he comes off that, he really fires home.
Yeah, I love the way that he's set up as well. From that break, one race in, now the next one back on the turf. Like you said, I like the high draw as well, gives him options. What about your value play? Yeah,
there was a couple. We talked about me going with that couple first-time starters in the, I think that might have been the 6th, but Captain Thunder, again, first-time Trombetta, a horse that's shown positional speed off of a break. That's what we're going to get today. Has to run down that pen shipper, but I think it's still going to hold in that 5 to 6 to 1 range when it's all said and done.
I'm looking forward to it. My value play of the day is the number 4, Wington, race number 6. Did a lot of work leading on her turf debut. Managed to hold on well for a second. I think she can get into the winner's circle today. As that will conclude the morning show, we're going to divert your attention to Dave Rodman for the scratches and changes. And I'll be back this afternoon joined by Callie Francois as well.
You got it. Enjoy, everybody.